passt es mir doch gar nicht an.
Dear Diary, there has been a turn of events that has left me feeling rather confused. Not that anything in my life has really changed. It's all still the same. But I find myself slipping. Let me start from the beginning so you would understand what I mean, my darling diary. My life does not have a lot of happy things, and so the few happy things that would cross my path were cherished deeply. One happy thing was a tiny flower with bright orange petals. It would bloom for me every morning. Another happy thing was a cardboard box that existed in my cell. Inside the box was a strong and powerful cathode ray that would emit a fiery beam of highly charged electrons. You see, this cathode ray was most unusual, for just as I could see it, it could see me as well. And I knew this, for the cathode ray would have a strange way of communicating with me. You see, some days I would deliberately provoke the cathode ray by taunting it. This would enrage the cathode ray, and it would emit a beam of electrons that jumped and danced in a fierce, savage-like manner. I had never seen a cathode ray behave like this, and its reactions would often leave me feeling very amused. It was as if I had the power to make an untamed beast go on a wild rampage. I felt special, knowing that my existence had an impact on this cathode ray. Sometimes the cathode ray would seek revenge by provoking me. This would make my blood boil. However, all of this was very exciting to me, and the cathode ray and I had an uncanny bond. In fact, if one stares at something for a very long time, one eventually develops a fondness for that thing. And so, I, Anastasia, became very fond of this cathode ray. And I secretly hoped that the cathode ray felt the same way about me. Now, on to my third happy thing. There was an angel that would sing to me. I would look out my window and see this beautiful angel singing. Its white gown would sway back and forth to the sweet melodies it sang. Hearing this gentle cooing made me feel special, to know that an angel was singing just for me. One day, as I was fiddling with my mirror, I noticed a few white hairs on my head. In my shock, I dropped the mirror, only to have it shatter into many tiny pieces. As I picked up the broken pieces, my hands began to bleed. But pain was the last thing on my mind, for as I looked into the broken mirror, I was stunned at the creature that stared back. It was a white-haired wretch with a disfigured face. I touched my face in bewilderment, and then my bewilderment turned into shock. Chunks of my face were starting to come out. It was then that I realized that it was I who was severely deformed. But how could this be? I then saw the angel outside. Surely, the angel can heal me. I ran towards the angel and grabbed its gown. Angel, tell me why. Why am I Anastasia so ugly? I asked. The angel gave no answer. I pulled the gown even harder until it tore, and then I could not see the angel anymore. I only saw a white sheet hung on a clothesline. I then came to a shocking realization. There was no angel. But what about the singing? I heard a cooing noise and turned around, only to see the wind hitting the clothesline. I ran back into my cell and saw the wilted plant on my windowsill. There was no flower that bloomed for me, just a decayed plant. I then rushed to my sweet Cathode Ray. Surely the Cathode Ray must have some sort of reaction to all of this. Oh, Cathode Ray, come out and display your mighty electrons for me. Do not be afraid of Anastasia. Come out. The Cathode Ray did not respond. Are we not a team anymore? I cried out. There was silence. I looked again into the box, but this time there was no Cathode Ray. Instead, there was a fat piece of dull brass. A fat brass could never love me. But how could my Cathode Ray not exist? Did I make it up? Maybe my whole life is a lie. There are no happy things. Maybe it's time to face the truth. I'm a disfigured white-haired animal destined to wither away in a tiny cell. I'm ugly and hideous. No one has love for me. I live alone in darkness. The truth was too much for me. I began to feel a deep burning within me, like a hot fire running through my veins. I wanted to kill, but no living creature was in sight. I kicked and punched the wall till my limbs were sore. I, Anastasia, was in despair. My life was utterly fruitless. The fire within me was getting hotter and hotter, and I had no control over it. Since fire was consuming my body, then why not speed up this agonizing process? I took a kerosene can and drenched myself. There is something about kerosene that is very soothing. Kerosene can cure loneliness. Just when I was about to strike a match, I felt a cloud rising within me. I could no longer stand and came crashing to the floor. I lay there, soaking in the serenity of the kerosene. I was unable to move. I, Anastasia, am not well. As I lay there, it became clear to me that what I needed more than anything else was rest. Long, blissful, undisturbed rest. Anastasia.
alte Lieder weiß ich in der Kälte ohne Schuh. Draußen in die Seiten reiß ich, weiß nicht wo.